What happened to y'all? It's your man Earl, up early, day 74, and I'm starting to do a little research on what's going on in society. And like I said before, I don't like to dibble-dabble in mass media. I don't like to bend, if you will, into news and what's going on, but this is getting way out of hand because of fear, and we're letting mass hysteria. We're letting people who control roughly 90% of all the media around the world, and those are just rough estimates, but I will say this: there's only 5 or 6 companies that control over 85%, 90% of all mass media. And so we're letting a small group of people tell us / tell you how to behave. And so I just want to do a part 2 on fear, and depending on what we find out and do today on day 74, we might even do a part 3 on fear. So this is part 2 on fear. And for those of us who are believers in the Most High God, I just want to give you this. Once again, part 2 on fear. Good to see a jogger out today. Good to see a jogger out. I like to see that. Good to see a jogger out. Fear. In the Bible, how many times is do not fear or do not be afraid? Say, there's at least 365 times. Now, why do I say that? Because if you're a person who struggles with anxiety, if you're a person who struggles with fear of unknown, fear of not knowing what's going to happen, don't know about tomorrow, don't know about next week, you're letting unhealthy unknowns get control of your mental, your physical, your mental, your physical, your emotional well-being. And I'm gonna tell you a little something about fear. Fear can drive you to be ill. Fear can drive you to be sick. There are people on this earth that live in so much fear that it drives their health. Okay, and that should not be any of us who are believers in the Most High God. Fear not. Do not be afraid. Okay, at least 365 times in the scriptures we find those phrases: don't be afraid or fear not. Okay, same root concept. There's no reason for us as believers to walk in fear. I'm gonna say it again. There's no reason for believers to walk in fear. What is fear? I'll repeat myself. This is part 2, day 74. Unpleasant emotions caused by the belief that something, aka sickness or financial markets or your job or somebody, is going to do something to you dangerous or likely to cause you some level of uncomfort. Fear can also be a threat, can be a pain. And remember, these are not things that have happened to you. Fear is what you are imagining that could happen. Okay? This is why fear can be so powerful if it can be used against you. If you politicize fear. Okay? I'll say this, if you pastoralize fear. A lot of people pastor from a place of fear and not love. God's going to get you. God's going to whoop you. God's going to beat you over the head. That's not the Bible, y'all. That's not the Bible. Sure, the Most High God has a wrath. That's not the Bible, though. Let's be very honest and very clear about that. What is fear? To be afraid. Someone, something, a certain situation as likely to be dangerous. That doesn't mean it is dangerous. That means you made up in your mind already that it's not going to be positive for you. Okay? Day 74, part 2 of fear. You cannot let other people get in your psychology and cause you to walk in fear. Do not be afraid. Fear not. Listen, we live in a fallen world. We get that. But I'm not going to walk around in fear. Am I going to be wise? Yes. Am I going to use wisdom? Yes. Am I going to use prudence? Yes. Am I going to use understanding? Yes. Am I going to use knowledge? Yes. That doesn't take the place fear. Meaning, don't let fear take the place of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, prudence. Okay? Don't walk in fear. Don't let fear drive you to make decisions that you're going to regret later. This is your man Earl, day 74 on the calendar. Fear part 2, do not walk in fear. God bless you. Peace.